beautiful things to make the magic happen. And this faraway place that knew about the terrible. It was wonderful to live there. I think after talking to so many people, I think I took it for granted until I heard the memories again of people that went there and enjoyed it. The first time I saw the we used to have to take a transit bus home. And my parents called and told me I was still in the bus. And we're all standing outside. And next thing you know, Mom and Dad pulled a little tooth. Everybody is just laughing and thinking, let the sidewalk open now and let me fall into it. I was, the second time I had remembered what I used to work almost every day. But I was over here helping my dad pushing me and I looked up there on the hill and coming down the hill in the back of the car was a little tooth. But I thought it never seen me. I'm sure now, because I thought it never seen me. And I have to say, my wife, she is a true girl. She's such a hard worker. And she has done so many things with the beautiful things that she's done to do.
Thank you, Mom.
She deserves a lot of thanks. I don't know what else to say. It was a wonderful place.
Well, I was born a year after Jennifer Doden, but I remember as a kid working with my father. It was a magical place.
When he showed up, every time he showed up, he was in a suit and tie. And I remember the day they were raising the giant Jack and the Bean. And he was there with all the other workmen in suit and tie, trying to raise that pole to get it up there to her, where it should be. A gentleman, it's a true gentleman, and he was just a wonderful person. I have pictures in the album of his men working in the work farm to dry up. One of the big things that they didn't make it at the studio, they made right in the work farm. And I'm sure that my brother and I was 8 and my brother was 5. We used to go over there and ask them a million useless questions, but they were so nice. They would stop work, they would answer our questions, and we would watch
There is a picture of Jack and the Beanstalk going up, and it's very similar to the American flag going up on Eagle View.
Actually, the picture is
It's right there, yeah.
He was always there making sure everything was done the way it should be.
Yeah, definitely hands-on.
Absolutely.
Underneath it and started out handwriting signs. We trusted. With a brush, very talented, illustrating.
It was every time something new would happen. How did they do that? How did they do it? And it's amazing. I don't know if it's happening, but it's
How involved was your family in designing the park, or was it Howard in designing it?
Howard did most of
Did your family know that it would be popular? Were they, were they worried and stressed out about people attending? Yeah.
Did you see the picture of the first day we were working? They didn't have a big enough parking lot. Our sheriff's department didn't like that we fought within that Sunday. And the first year, we were just open on Saturday and Sunday. And they didn't let us open on Sunday, because of the blue laws. So the first thing that they had to do was send back was, the blue laws were to say that, you're supposed to be with your family. And so, this was the perfect place to be with your family. So they got that, I don't know what they did, last year, and they realized they got it done. Very first year, we went down and realized, okay, well, the first thing we have to do is go to the big parking lot. And the second thing is the gingerbread house was the snack to be done. And that's where the parking, at the gingerbread house. People used to come in line, walk around the park in line, because there was too many people.
There were no rides.
And they were always in trouble with us. So the second or third year is when they turned Robin Hood's Barn into snack bar, which gave it.
Which was actually a barn because this wasn't formerly a barn. So it was a real barn that they refurbished. Barn and a snack bar. And a little later on, they realized that Joe Selby, who was running the park, didn't really have an office to work out of, and they didn't have a break area for the employees. So he built a simulated silo right next to it. And it fit right in next to the barn, and that's what they were doing that.
That's where he from. And a lot of, this was after, it wasn't after the park was closed, it was after Mom and Dad passed. And somebody got in the barn and set it on fire. And just completely destroyed everything. And Jim's office was where a lot of papers and pictures and it was all over.
In reference to your question, when they come up with the idea, or Grandpa came up with the idea to make the park, it was way out of the country, nothing around, and there was no bank that wanted to finance it because they said it was just going to be a complete flop. So their family owned a hotel, the Belgian Village, down on Route 40, and they sold that to use money to build the park. Of course, they had less banks. It took off. They even had the Today Show came down from New York to film a segment at the Enchanted Forest, and it's still available on YouTube. And my Facebook group, I repost it every once in a while. Dave Garraway and the monkey Jane Fred Monks. Yeah, came down. Oh, by the way, in Linda's defense, she is much louder when she yells at me. So.
I'm sorry, it's been very emotional day for me. Is there anything else that you want to know?
You know what their cost back then to build?
I have no
$100,000. I mean, just the replacement.
Yeah. Where's a better story? Do you remember the bridge that took you from Robinson Crusoe Island over to the mountain slide? That was actually a bridge from the Laurel racetrack.
Oh,
Yeah, they brought it and repurposed it.
How long did it take to, they spent a year building it? Or?
yeah. Some of this information is in the book. And what makes me laugh though, we're celebrating this day, August, the middle of August. You know they did not want to open in the middle of August. You know, the plan was to open in June, I'm sure. What was the dinner that night? No, when you all were having dinner.
Somebody asked my granddad, do you think they're gonna allow us?
Yeah.
Let's hope that.
Why don't you come sit up here?
What month was the Enchanted Forest open once you got going?
Oh, you're
Was it
fine. You're
just summer
fine. You're
months, or
absolutely
did it go
fine.
Much harder than that.
Someone because most of the help through the guides was for hospital.
Oh.
Well, the people over here who were employees, do you want to tell anything about what job you did and what you enjoyed doing about it, or what you did? Yeah.
So I remember one summer,
Uh-huh.
I think it was 1974, and I wasn't gal out there to the nice costumes like the characters. They were wearing their powder. So I worked in family farms. I dressed like.
Oh, and those little orange,
Yeah,
green and orange outfits.
Sort of a
Yeah.
skeleton jacket and my green shorts. It was hard work because we were serving up like hamburgers and crazy fries that were machine.
Oh, okay.
They weren't like normal potato fries. Yeah. And the best part about that job was you didn't get paid every serve because it was from this little bakery that was up in this cake and so we were just. And the thing about working there too is you don't get to use one another in life or you go home together. It's just a family. And our co-work there too. We'd be together all day, seeing each other as we're passing the park, but then we'd all get together and go to sit outside and everybody goes to Symphony Woods, that when it was legal to sit outside and just listen to the concert outside the fence. So we go to Lake Kidnacundi when we have bluegrass concerts and we just, kind of, it was like a big extended family. My brother worked there.
And what job did you do?
And I was mostly ticketed. I started
Oh,
out
okay.
in the snack bar, but as soon as Kathy person figured out how to do his money, and said, you're in the ticket booth, because you can make that tilt come out even.
Ah, there you go.
And my brother was there for, he would drive the geese and drive the mice. His first year, we were in the parking lot.
Ah, okay.
And they always have, like, that's their starting duties. And, he said, for, Scandinavian Danish family, he would end up looking like, some of the race, but he had blonde hair and dark skin, incredible skin. He had and they used to pick bumpers.
Yeah.
And if your car was in that lot, we would slap the bumpers around, and people would get so.
Oh, man, yeah.
And they'd start yelling at the guys in there, I remember, we were told to do.
Yeah.
But yes, I chose to go.
What did it cost to get in? Remember?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some posters in the store that shows some ticket prices. Yeah, Roger 50 cents or something like that.
So fun. But that was another thing, really, the older employees. They talk about safety and they were.
Thank you.
All over the place, he was all over the place fixing stuff and they were wonderful. They were really, they did whatever.
I wanted to ask this. At the time, I guess there was no competition other than Walt Disney in California when this opened?
Storybook Land in Egg Harbor, New Jersey opened 2 months before the Enchanted Forest did. And if you ever go down there, they have a lot of very similar attractions.
Yeah, there were storybooks lands sort of dotted all around the United States, but it's not like they, you know, what happens now where people franchise everything.
Yeah.
People had the same idea at the same time. You know, they came back from World War II, baby boom started, and the entrepreneurial folks said, what are we going to do to entertain these children? So there's one that's still operating up in New Hampshire. I think it's called Storyland. Yeah.
Storyland.
And then there used to be, there used to be one in New Orleans, there's one in Pennsylvania. What?
Kennywood? Kennywood.
Yeah, but that's slaves, that's one for the slaves. Yeah.
They used to have Fantasyland and
Yeah. They closed in 1980.
Your father,
Yeah,
in
he
Frontierland down there in the
Yeah.
city.
And,
Yeah.
a couple years later, they did the Enchanted Forest.
And that's
That's still up now?
Wow.
Which one is that?
Yeah, so there are.
Frontier Town.
You know, around the country.
No, that's still, it's a campground.
Yeah, but it's what it was with the actors, that's all.
No, that's still.
I think it's still open.
Yeah, it's
I
there.
never had been to the Enchanted Forest because I didn't grow up
Still
here,
there.
but I've seen pictures and I've heard about it. And you mentioned this, I don't remember what they called it. It was it could be fairyland. It very much seemed like what I had heard described and had seen pictures of all the way across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. That's terrific.
There is an Enchanted Forest in Oregon.
Yeah, that's
Quite
why.
often I get people wanting to join my group,
Ah,
thinking it's
yeah.
the other way.
Oh, okay.
And they had a big fire, when they had all the big wildfires, fires, they had lost, they had a lot of damage. And one of the owner's grandchildren, he got passed away. He was trying to hide in a truck with his dog. But the fire. So it was a really sad year for them. They're back up and running again. But like I said, I get a lot of thinking we're the same.
And I get people sending me pictures of places that they went to, and they'll send me the shoe, or they'll send me something else, and I go, that's really nice, but it's not from the Enchanted Forest. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's not our shoe.
What is the closest thing that's still open similar to Enchanted Forest to this area?
I think it's probably Storybook Land, Egg Harbor. Well, that's Wonderland, it's more like a theme park.
Yeah, that's more like a
Yeah,
theme park.
the Storybook Land has all the fairy tales, stuff like here.
Was that in Virginia, New Jersey?
There was one down there. That closed up, yeah, that closed up too. The one up in New Hampshire is in Glen, New Hampshire, it's called
Yeah,
Storyland.
it's right on it, there's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
I went to the one in Virginia.
And now there's an Idlewild Park that's owned by Kennywood now, out towards Pittsburgh. They
Yeah.
have a section of the park that's very similar, it has all the fairy tales.
Martha, did you come here to go to it as a child?
I did, not very often because my birthday's in December, so I never got to have a birthday party there. And, you know, I grew up on this farm, and in the summer, we were always working. When we would go would be when someone came in from out of town, and then we would take them, and then I couldn't go. But, so I do have a few memories, but I'm not like some of the families in these books who sent me their pictures, who went, you know, year after year after year, numerous times,
Yeah.
Isn't much better.
No,
Yeah.
no. And the man who does a lot of my repair work, the man who fixed, Little Tooth, is Mark Klein, who went to the Enchanted Forest as a child, and his inspiration was the Enchanted Forest. His business is called Enchanted Castle Studios down in Natural Bridge, Virginia, and he has spent his entire career making these fiberglass things. He'll do, like, he's right now making 25-foot tall cowgirls and cowboys for the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Every 10 miles or something, all the way down Route 66. He's done amazing things. Check it out. It's Enchanted Castle Studios. He has a park down in Natural Bridge, Virginia, with dinosaurs and Civil War soldiers. The man's mind is absolutely incredible. But he'll come up here, whenever I call him, and he'll, completely fiberglass a roof that we call in the park. He taught me how to fiberglass, because I was, and but it's interesting because his inspiration was in Enchanted Forest, and he has made his living doing it.
Is he the same man? I remember, again, years ago, near Lorraine Caverns, there used to be a place called Dinosaur Land.
No, there is a dinosaur land, that is not his. Yeah, he had a dinosaur world, down where he is, and it, burned up also. But he's got this other attraction now, but that, he is not that dinosaur.
And Martha, this is for you. I don't care who thinks what. When I turn 60, am I allowed to have a birthday party? Thank you. We'll all come.
Yes.
Everybody here is invited. Everybody extended invitation.
Now, a sad story, a number of years back, somebody jumped the fence and stole a little boy balloon. And Mark, he recreated one for you, and he made a new one to replace it.
That's the only thing that we've ever had.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
That's one of the reasons that the park is finally sold, because every weekend, the baby girls in downtown was out of control. No housing developed, housing developed, it was a guy. They used to have to come in early on Saturday, and we would replace everything, repair everything, before we can
The natives down in Jungle Land were originally mannequins from hustlers. And a couple of those had gotten stolen over the years.
What year did the vandalism start? I mean, that's
Probably the end of spring.
okay. I was gonna say, was it in the 70s? I can't fathom they used to be, I can't fathom anybody used to be that. Yeah.
Crybaby.
Crybaby.
Yeah, and so how did that come about? The Enchanted Forest, things being kind of a backdrop,
we were living at the and they went to Seven.
Kimco Factor, whoever that is.
because there was the militaries and some of the.
Yeah, they did that whole scene out on the parapets of the Cinderella Castle and everything. Yeah, it was quite something.
They also did an episode of Homicide Life in the Streets in Cinderella's Castle, but it was very dark.
That was,
Yeah, it was very dark in the theme and everything.
And there's a Zippy.
Zippy's a pen. There's a bunch of them. I got a whole file full of it.
Okay.
All the Zippy cartoons.
the homicide episode played at the Enchanted Forest, which is Pennsylvania near Harrisburg, which I thought was very peculiar. It was some other.
Homicide was here a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, the show was filmed in Baltimore,
Right,
but the Enchanted Forest, they were driving north And the guy was like, I want to get out here and take a look. And then the woman escapes, but it was in Pennsylvania.
Well, in Crybaby, they also mixed up where things were, and, you know, they just, artistic license.
In a big way.
When I used to come, when I worked at a preschool, and I used to come, the original, that used to be over there, right here, the main entrance, castle was over. Is that, yeah, at this place, yes.
No, we all, first it was that castle facade or store, and then later, I didn't, the Enchanted Farm, I mean, Kimco, I don't think originally was gonna give us that castle.
Or that one.
And,